Wario might just be my favorite video game character ever. Despite existing within the same universe as the ever-wholesome and heroic Mario, Wario is the epitome of an entirely selfish character. If his troll-like proportions, gigantic nose, jagged stash, and juicy booty weren't enough, Wario's actions sell the point. He barges through enemies, tosses them around, squishes them flat, and unapologetically nabs coins by the ton, all with a mischievous grin on his face. This avaricious treasure hunter is fat, rude, and supremely greedy, and he loves it. It's impossible not to love such an honest mess of a character. Even so, he's comparatively niche, so it's fitting that he's the true star of the ever-so-niche Virtual Boy console in what is handily considered its finest game, Virtual Boy Wario Land. Even the instruction booklet is classic. I mean, Wario straight up lies in the story section and tells you that he got jumped by some treasure-carrying goons. In the Awasan? Like a Wario, huh? It's just filled with charm, whether Wario's telling you how to get the job done, offering tips for wieners, or showing off the various spicy abilities and critters you'll come across, like Masta Mosquito? Sounds a little racist, but at least it's not Massa Mosquito. Now, Wario was indeed telling the truth about flying his plane to the Awasan and snoozing near a lovely river, but look at this dude rush these treasure nabbers, claiming he got jumped. After witnessing some tempting booty, karma causes the floor underneath him to crumble, knocking him down a whopping 14 levels. Probably would have killed the average man, but Wario's just built different. The graphics and animation here are stellar, and Wario in particular is the king of greedy charm. Controlling him is straightforward. You can walk, crawl, run, jump, barge, and booty stomp, avoiding spikes, dispatching enemies, smashing blocks, and collecting as much gold as your impossibly deep pockets can carry. Heck, you can even convert enemies into currency, which sounds suspiciously like slavery. Collecting the Viking helmet lets you destroy giant blocks and stun enemies with your massive booty quick. Then there's the main Virtual Boy gimmick, jumping into the background to access another plane of existence, where you can find even more greedy goodies like one of the 10 main treasures, and you can hop back to nab the key needed to open Sesame the next level. Unfortunately, I got too in character and my excessive greed got the best of me, so I shrank into Tiny Wario before contracting COVID from the local Wuhan bat, making me start over. But the second run went well, and I unlocked the elevator to the next level, taking a brief break in between to play a couple minigames to grab more hearts, which give you extra lives, and gamble for even more money, which is exactly the kind of activity that I'd expect from this vice-filled goblin. Before starting the next level, we're shown our current status with total collectibles, money, time, and even our ascent towards the surface, which gives a good sense of progression, all to some catchy elevator music. The second level pits you against paranoid warlock-looking creatures that break out of their homes to defend their wives and cattle, and expands the exploration with breakable blocks and collectibles hidden behind waterfalls. We also pick up the Dragon Crystal, with which we consume the world with our destructive, garlicky fire breath, and explore more sections of the level. As I ascended to the next level, I was once again reminded that gambling is not actually a very statistically smart thing to do. Despite water levels typically being the lowest point of any game, Water Temple, the third level is actually a lot of fun, with more of the same exploration-filled, booty-collecting goodness as the earlier levels. And I love the wavy water effects. The goofy-looking gobblers and the Jason Voorhees chainsaw fish are charming and fun to deal with, too. I felt really validated when I saw some sus-looking blocks and came back to bash them with Bull Wario, through which I found the precious... chicken? Maybe it's like a golden goose type of thing. Good for some entrepreneurial food production, anyways. After dealing with this annoying little gruntlebot, we face off against the first boss. Ooh. Kind of intimidating. Oof! He got me with this spiky ball! Cool effect when he throws it into the foreground, though. Man, this guy needs a mail-order bride, cause he ain't reproducing looking like that. Let's give that noggin a boppin'. Oops. Well, stuff went smoother the second time, and after vanquishing this ugly mother duck, I was rewarded with loads of taxpayer dollars and the key to the city. Up and onwards! Maybe I'll gamble just once more. It's okay, I can stop whenever I want. Never mind. In Stage 5, the level design becomes much more branchy, with different routes to take through levels, enhancing the sense of exploration. This forest is full of little peckers and Pokemon Meryl's evil twin who tosses spears and sucks you. But it's a lot of fun farting through the air with Eagle Wario and demolishing everything as the beastly King Dragon Wario, who wields the combined abilities of every power-up. Like the spread shot in Contra, you really don't want to lose this bad boy. Fortunately, there's plenty of power-ups littered throughout, and they don't fade away unless you snatch them. If you become tiny, feel free to just go back and nab them so you don't feel like a second-class citizen. The next level sees you make your way upstream. Literally. Climbing up the falls by button mashing is pretty fun, even with these demonic little frogs trying to make you croak. I even got outfitted with this lovely princess dress. Well, not really. I doubt it can fit Wario's massive derriere. I really like the mixture of platforming, climbing, and swimming in this level, though. The desert area gave me a bit of a hard time, particularly in the spike-filled tornado section, but infinite flight definitely expedites this order. I guided one of these little twisters over to suck the dirt away from this door, where there's a little indoor oasis with plenty of breakable walls and treasure to uncover. What the? Oh gosh, not giant mosquitoes! Please, I have a wife and kids. Take them instead. Well, I got screwed over by one of these suckers, but after I came back, I collected the fruit that made sin enter the world, avoided some gnarly looking plants, nabbed more hidden treasure, and pieced out of there. Having just completed a desert level, it's appropriate we face a desert-themed boss. A sandfish snake with a scuba mask? Well, points for creativity. He hops back and forth between the layer cake, and after avoiding him, you have to give him the sneak and bonk his noggin. At least the sandfish jumped him first this time, so Wario can claim self-defense. It's a pretty easy fight though, and after beating his beach buns, we snatch some looty, take a duty, grab the key, and head on up. The next few levels are creative and tight as Wario's pants. One is randomly centered around melons, like destroying them, catching them, throwing them to activate switches, and so on. I don't know, maybe one of the devs was black? It can get a little frustrating timing your throws, but it's a solid time. The next level is even stranger, centered in a mysterious maze-like mansion filled with weirdos, including a cuckoo condor, or clock, that lays egg bombs. This creepy face mask might seem intimidating, but like myself, he doesn't like having his kids thrown at him. Next up, you jump over these flapjacks to navigate around fire bits, hop to the back of the bus, and nab a ton of extra lives, and to need a robot, which is definitely worth getting incinerated for. There's also fans that blow you to Kingdom Come, and fire squids to avoid too. A perilous but fun journey indeed. This is followed by a fight against the little engine that could. Seriously, what is this contraption? A boiler tank steam pot thingy? It's piloted by this little weenie hiding inside. Probably feels like a real man using it to overcome his physical handicap. After squashing him, we're up to the final level of the game. It's a labyrinthine dungeon with just as much action in the background as in the foreground, which makes it a little overly busy visually and somewhat confusing to navigate. But the level isn't too large, so it's totally doable. There's a lovely water point pin hidden at the very beginning, which should help Wario commit tax fraud. The final boss, Demon Head, certainly earns his name, because he is creepy as heck. It's a tough fight too, as he has more health than most bosses, and he's got a broader variety of attacks too. But after bouncing into his face enough, we successfully exorcise his wicked spirit, and finally return to the surface, whereupon we open the massive door using all the treasures we found. How we fit that massive treasure trove into a single bag labeled coins, I don't know. But regardless, a healthy bribe should clear up any misunderstandings with airport security. We also take a bottled genie and a lovely treasure map for the road. There's multiple endings available depending on the playtime and amount of booty collected, but I'm fine with what I got. Plus there's an extra hard mode which changes the treasure sprites and mostly just adds a bunch of spikes. Yeah. But that's better than nothing. Virtual Boy Wario Land is a great platformer, regardless of its console of origin. It's got great graphics and animation, catchy music, fun exploration-filled levels, and some fun bosses to bash. It's not the longest game out there, but as with the wonderful Wario Land 4, each level is unique and memorable in its own right, and its brevity adds to its replayability. While the background gimmick isn't anything revolutionary, it's utilized effectively to add to the game, and it's very much worthy of its reputation as the best Virtual Boy game out there. As for how it fares compared to other platformers, that's a little trickier. I wouldn't say it beats out the greats like Super Mario World or Rayman Legends, and I think Wario Lands 3 and 4 outclass it in terms of creativity, content, style, and gameplay. But it's on par with Super Mario Land 2 and Super Mario Land 3, aka Wario Land 1, which are the OG Game Boy's finest platformers. It's a proud accomplishment that, in spite of the Virtual Boy's severely limited lifespan of less than a year, it managed to produce a game of this quality, and that's something to celebrate. I love the Wario series as a whole, and I'll eagerly return to it at some point in the future. If you enjoyed watching, like and subscribe. As for me, I've got a lamp to caress,
I want a bigger butt.
and some treasures to hunt, so I'll see you later.